Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family. Because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling.
Imagine this. A single rumor spreads online, and within hours, 40,000 fans flood one of Asia's most prestigious malls. Shops shut down. Escalators grind to a halt. Emergency alarms echo across the building. And at the center of it all, two of China's most beloved stars, Liu Yunning and Zhao Lusi. This wasn't just an event. It was chaos that shook the entertainment world. What was planned as a simple promotional appearance quickly turned into a moment that revealed the extraordinary influence of modern celebrity culture and the fragile balance between admiration and chaos. At the heart of the incident was Golden Dragon Mall, one of Asia's most celebrated shopping destinations, which on that day became something entirely different. From the early hours of the morning, fans began to gather after whispers spread online that Zhao Lusi might appear at the luxury wing of the mall. What began as speculation transformed into a tidal wave of anticipation. By mid-morning, the space was unrecognizable. The usual elegance of boutique storefronts and glittering concourses was replaced with endless streams of young fans pressing against glass barriers, their voices echoing off the marble floors. Security personnel who were accustomed to guiding weekend shoppers suddenly found themselves overwhelmed by a human tide, struggling to contain an energy that felt unstoppable. By late morning, reports estimated that more than 40,000 people had descended upon the building. Each floor, each corridor, every corner was occupied by bodies hoping to catch even the faintest glimpse of Zhao Lusi. The air grew heavy and stifling, escalators jammed as people surged in all directions, and the festive atmosphere that had begun with laughter and excitement gave way to unease. For some, the wait became unbearable. Emergency services began receiving calls about fainting, dehydration, and mounting panic. Families tried to hold on to one another as the crowd swelled to breaking point. Even shop owners locked their doors, watching helplessly from behind glass as their businesses disappeared under waves of humanity. The mall itself, a symbol of stability and prestige, seemed to groan under the weight of expectation. Engineers worried about the load on upper floors, while fire marshals warned of a possible structural emergency. The decision was swift and unprecedented. Golden Dragon Mall would close immediately. Evacuation alarms rang out, yet even then many refused to leave, clinging to the hope of seeing their idol. It was no longer simply about entertainment. It had become a matter of public safety and human vulnerability. In that moment, the story transcended the realm of a fan gathering. It exposed the power of rumor in the digital age, the devotion of fandom that can mobilize tens of thousands in hours, and the risks when anticipation outweighs preparation. What unfolded that day at Golden Dragon Mall was not just a disruption of shopping routines, but a dramatic reminder of how thin the line can be between celebration and catastrophe. The atmosphere at Golden Dragon Mall shifted from excitement to dread in a matter of moments. What had started as a gathering charged with energy and anticipation soon transformed into something darker, as the sheer weight of numbers overwhelmed every safeguard in place. By noon, the mall was no longer simply crowded. It was on the verge of collapse. Fans pressed tightly together in the atrium, their chants and cries rising in volume while oxygen seemed to thin in the air. The joy of waiting for a beloved star gave way to gasps for breath, bodies swaying under the strain, and the first reports of fainting began to filter through emergency hotlines. Parents lifted exhausted children above the crowd in a desperate attempt to keep them safe, while security teams shouted orders that vanished into the roar of thousands. As rumors spread that Zhao Lusi had already slipped inside through a hidden entrance, panic took hold. Entire sections of the crowd surged toward restricted areas, igniting chain reactions of pushing and shoving. Escalators clogged with bodies trying to move in both directions became scenes of near disaster, with terrified faces caught between metal rails and the crush of the people behind them. What had once been a commercial sanctuary of luxury stores and bright displays now resembled a storm of human desperation, each wave more powerful than the last. The tipping point came when engineers and safety officials issued an urgent warning. The upper floors, burdened by thousands of tightly packed fans, were no longer secure. The structure itself was at risk. That revelation shattered the last illusion of control. Fire marshals declared a state of public emergency and ordered a full evacuation. Sirens echoed through the building, but many fans resisted, unwilling to leave without the moment they had come for. For some, the dream of seeing Zhao Lusi outweighed fear itself. Security personnel were forced into tense standoffs, pleading with young people who had traveled hours, even days, and spent their savings for this chance. Each delay increased the risk. Within the mall, business owners barricaded doors while others broke down in tears at the sight of merchandise and property trampled underfoot. The turning point was not just the official closure of Golden Dragon Mall, but the collective realization that the fervor of devotion had crossed into danger. What was meant to celebrate a star had now endangered lives. In that instant, the event ceased to be entertainment and became a sobering reminder of how fragile safety can be when passion outweighs precaution, and how quickly joy can collapse into chaos. When Liu Yunning finally stepped before the cameras, the world saw a man crushed under the weight of his own conscience. The press conference was not filled with rehearsed statements or polished gestures. Instead, it unfolded like a confession, raw and unfiltered. His voice trembled as he admitted that he had, in a moment of misplaced trust, shared details of Zhao Lusi's schedule with a small group of fans. He believed it would remain private, a simple gesture to show gratitude to those who had supported him. What he never imagined was how quickly that information would spread, multiplied by the echo chamber of social media, until it gathered the force of a tidal wave that closed an entire shopping mall and left hundreds injured. As Liu Yunning spoke, tears welled in his eyes and spilled onto the microphone, not as a performance but as an expression of genuine remorse. He did not seek excuses. He did not point fingers. Instead, he shouldered the blame and acknowledged that his careless decision had placed innocent people in harm's way. His words carried the weight of a man who had seen images of fainting fans, heard reports of young girls struggling to breathe, and realized that a single mistake had rippled into disaster. His admission of guilt was accompanied by promises that went beyond empty apologies. He pledged to cover all medical expenses for the injured, to compensate businesses that had suffered losses, and to create a safety fund that would support better planning for future events. In an industry often defined by scripted apologies and superficial damage control, his sincerity struck a chord. Yet what made the apology powerful was not just the pledges of financial responsibility, but the vulnerability he displayed. Viewers saw a performer stripped of glamour, reduced to his most human form, flawed, regretful, and desperately wishing he could turn back time. Many were moved by the courage it took to admit fault publicly, especially in a culture where reputation is carefully guarded and mistakes are rarely acknowledged without pressure. Others remained divided, questioning whether his actions were enough, or whether the true blame lay elsewhere. But for those who watched closely, his trembling hands and broken sentences revealed a man confronting the consequences of fame in its harshest form. In that moment, Liu Yunning's apology became more than an act of damage control. It was a rare reminder that behind the stage lights and screen performances are individuals capable of error, burdened by responsibility, and defined not by perfection but by how they rise from their mistakes. But not everyone agreed. Some fans praised Liu Yunning's honesty and courage. Others argued the responsibility lay with mall management and reckless fan behavior. Social media became a battlefield. Was Liu Yunning a hero who stood up to protect others, or the man who lit the match that started the fire? For Zhao Lusi, the entire ordeal was deeply unsettling. She was never at the mall at all. She was across the city at a private shoot, devastated as news of the chaos reached her. Imagine the pain of knowing your name alone could bring such turmoil. Beyond the drama, this incident reveals something far greater. It shows how digital rumors can mobilize tens of thousands in hours. It shows the fragility of public safety in the age of fandoms. And it highlights the extraordinary pressure celebrities face, where even silence or a simple misstep can create nationwide headlines. Yet, it also shows something inspiring: accountability. In an industry often criticized for hiding behind PR walls, Liu Yunning chose responsibility over excuses. And that is why, despite the controversy, many still stand by him. This wasn't just a mall closure. It was a story of chaos, responsibility, and the unpredictable power of fans united by love. It was a reminder that fame can inspire, but it can also overwhelm. And in the end, as Liu Yunning stood crying before the cameras, the world saw not just a star, but a human being who made a mistake, admitted it, and promised to make it right. If this story moved you, inspired you, or made you think differently about fame and responsibility, don't forget to support our channel. Subscribe to Update X24H for more powerful stories, real emotions, and global entertainment updates. Thank you for watching and stay tuned, because the next headline could be even more extraordinary.